Hi Virgo, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week of February 13th through the 19th. This is for Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising signs. So Virgo, in addition to the messages from the Angels Oracle card that I normally pull for you, because this is the week of Valentine's Day, I'm also going to be pulling you a Romance Angel Oracle card as well this week. All right, Virgo. All right, Virgo, so at the bottom of the deck, I do have the Three of Wands, okay. So threes really represent growth and expansion. So for some Virgos, you could be starting something new this week. Something could be taking root. And then for other Virgos, something that you've been working very hard on or working very hard towards, there could be some sort of growth or some sort of progress that is happening this week. What's really interesting though, Virgo, is you actually have 2 threes here in the spread. So for some Virgos, the number 3 could be very significant. There could be a situation dealing with 3 people. For some of you, you're working with 3 people or you're working with 2 other people. Because the overall energy is the Three of Pentacles, and this very much does represent teamwork. So for some Virgos, there could be 3 people that are working together on something. You could be working with 2 other people. Yeah, for some of you, because this is the overall energy, you're definitely working with other people. Now, if you don't work for a living, you could be working with other people on a particular project. This is a worker energy for me. So for some of you, you're working very hard towards something. And with that Three of Wands, you might be seeing some sort of progress or growth or expansion this week. And it's because of your hard work. It's because of your effort. Some of you are working very hard. You're paying attention to the details. You're very determined and very focused upon your work. So for some of you, this is you very focused, upon your career, very focused on something in particular. You're working very hard. And then if you don't work for a living, there's something that you're working on. For some of you, again, there could be a situation dealing with 3 people. That can be a love triangle for some Virgos. And then for other Virgos, this is just maybe, a group project or something like that. We are starting out with the Ten of Wands here. And the Ten of Wands can be a burdensome sort of energy. It can be a stressed out sort of energy. So for some Virgos, you might feel like you have a lot of pressure on you, or you might feel as though you're carrying a heavy load. So for some of you, you certainly could be working a lot. You might need to ask for help. For some of you, you need to definitely ask for help. For some of you, you need to take some of this pressure off of you in some way. This is a 10. It is a cycle that's completing, so it's not going to be something that lasts forever. But for some of you, I feel like, yeah, I definitely feel like for some of you, maybe you've been taking on extra hours. You possibly could be working a second job. For some Virgos, I definitely see you working a lot and carrying a heavy load. So maybe you're trying to reach, a place of financial stability or security, or maybe you're just trying to get a raise or a promotion. For some of you, you're really you're really working very hard, and for some of you, you're maybe working a little bit too much. The Ten of Wands will come up when you're spread a little bit thin. For some of you, could be working every day. So for some of you, maybe you need to take a break. But I think that for some of you, you're possibly trying to walk down a new path with the Page of Wands here. This is like a new adventure, an exciting new adventure, an exciting new beginning. For some of you, this is maybe within the company that you work for, because I also have the Hierophant here. So for some of you, I think that you're either trying to land a new job or you're trying to be promoted within the company that you already work for. Now, you might be holding out and waiting on some sort of communication or news with the Hermit here, and the Hermit does represent your sign, Virgo. I do feel like you're seeking some sort of enlightenment, but this could have been something that is ongoing. This could be something that you've been waiting on, Virgo. For some of you, I think that you're waiting on enlightenment from the company that you work for. For other Virgos, this could definitely be like a legal matter. Sometimes I do see the Hermit come up and represent like an attorney. So for some of you, maybe you have some sort of legal matter. You could be waiting on news from your attorney. There could be a very small number of Virgos that you could be waiting on like a divorce to be final. Or you could be married, and honestly, for some Virgos, you know, your marriage or your partnership could be a little burdensome at the moment, for a very small number of you. Now, for a very small number of Virgos, there could be a love triangle. You could have been, or you could be, excuse me, married, because I have the Ten of Wands diagonal with the Hierophant. So for some of you, it's almost like your marriage, your relationship is weighing you down in some way, and maybe you're waiting on some sort of news from your partner, or waiting on some sort of enlightenment about this situation. Because I have the Moon here as well, for some Virgos, I think that you might have met someone else. Maybe you're waiting on that third party to communicate with you. For some of you, maybe you're staying married, or you're staying in a relationship with the Hierophant. It's not just marriage. It can be just a committed, more traditional relationship. So for some Virgos, you might be staying in a relationship, or maybe you're living with someone, you're staying with your partner, and you could be waiting on news from like that third party. So there could be some Virgos that maybe you're not moving on until things are clear with the third person. It could be a situation like that, because I do see some of you just definitely hanging in suspense, hanging in limbo. We have the Moon, which represents the unknown. It can absolutely represent something that's secret, that's taking place. Represents what is hidden, what is in the dark. And then we have the Hanged Man here, which is that period of suspense, you kind of hanging in limbo and waiting. So for some of you, this is within your career. I see that you've been working very hard. For some of you, you're either trying to get promoted, or you're definitely maybe waiting on a raise to come through, or you're a Virgo that's trying to land a new job, because we also have the Ace of Pentacles here, and there's a lot of uncertainty around this, but this is coming through. I feel like this is coming through for you, Virgo, especially if you're a Virgo, that this is on the job front. Either you're going to be landing a new job, or this is like some sort of raise or promotion. I think that you're waiting on maybe clarity or enlightenment from the company that you work for, or a company. And then for a very small number of you, I think this is on the relationship front. I think that you're in a more traditional relationship. Maybe you're unhappy because of this Ten of Wands. It's been difficult. You've been tolerating it. For some of you, you've been staying in this relationship. I think you're maybe waiting on another person. Maybe their partner, and maybe they have to figure out what they want to do. It's, you know, for some of you, I definitely get this situation. But you having to wait here. You're waiting on the other person. You're waiting on some sort of enlightenment, that's for sure. Now, this other person is either, for many of you, this other person is either a Pisces or a Cancer, or a Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I'm getting that very strongly. So I think the third person, for many of you, if you can relate to these messages in that way, I think that you're waiting on maybe a Sagittarius. If not, maybe a Pisces or a Cancer. Now that could be their moon, that could be their rising sign. Things are definitely happening on divine time with Temperance here. This is that divine energy. It's things happening in your life on divine timing, Virgo, but this is also patience and moderation. So I think that for some of you, there's something deep, there's something that's developing here. It's definitely something that you're emotionally connected to, Virgo. So for some of you, this is a relationship that's unfolding here, but you need to take your time. You need to get to know that person on a much deeper level. If you want it to be something solid down the road, and something that's going to offer you a lot of stability, this is something that you need to, you need to build upon this relationship. You need to take your time. This is something that you need to take your time You really, really need to get to know that person on a much deeper level. And things, I feel, things are going to develop slowly but surely with that Three of Wands here. I think that, you know, you are seeing progress. You are connecting with them on a more emotional level this week. But I still see you waiting on that enlightenment or that clarity. So I'm not sure if there's some Virgos that you're waiting on like a particular answer from another person, but I think that perhaps there's some Virgos that either you're single or you're in a relationship and you met someone else, and that person, I think that for many of you that can relate to these messages, that person could be connected as well. That person could be married, or that person could be in a relationship. So maybe you're waiting on that other person to kind of figure things out from their end. Very interesting reading that you have here, Virgo. And then the other Virgos that cannot relate to those messages whatsoever, I clearly can see that you're waiting on this Ace of Pentacles. There's some uncertainty around this, but for those Virgos that, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty around some sort of solid new beginning, either a new job, a raise, or promotion, or this can even be like an inheritance or something like that. I feel like this is coming through for you. Things are very much happening on divine time. So you just need to hang in there. Patience is required. I feel like this is coming through. There could be some sort of communication in regards to this that's coming through this week, and it's very positive, but I still think that you're waiting for it to fully manifest. But you need to just hang in there, continue on working very hard, stay focused, keep your eye on the prize, because this is something that's coming to you. Listen to your intuition this week, Virgo, with the Hermit and then the Moon here in the same spread. For many Virgos, you're going to be highly, highly intuitive this week. You also could even be having some very vivid dreams. You could be generally just growing spiritually as well, Virgo. And then for other Virgos, you could be waiting on documents to come through in regards to a home or something like that. Of course, and then some other Virgos, this is maybe some sort of love triangle situation, and I think that maybe you're waiting on the other person, you're waiting on some sort of enlightenment or clarity. Financially, Virgo, I think it's going to be a great week for you. I see you working very hard. For some of you, you definitely could be watched within the workplace, so just take caution with that. Just, you know, stay focused, continue on, you know, doing a good job. For some of you, you definitely could be getting noticed here, but also for some other Virgos, this is maybe higher ups, you know, maybe like the owner of a company or something like that, paying attention to you or watching you and you don't know it, Virgo. So just take caution with that. All right, additional guidance for Virgo for this upcoming week. What else does Virgo need to know? Please show me. And if you are a partnered Virgo and you don't have any sort of love triangle or anything like that going on, if you had any difficulties, for some of you, if you've had any difficulties within your relationship, but you and your partner definitely still want to be together, if you've been working on your relationship, I definitely see it being a good week for you. There's a lot of healing energy around you with Temperance here. Things could be balancing out. You and your partner, you maybe are maybe trying to move to a new home or something like that. There could be something that you're waiting on here. Just hang in there. All right. Now, because it is the week of Valentine's Day this week, Virgo, I'm pulling you an additional romance angel card for this week. So focusing on love and relationships for Virgo. What does Virgo need to know? Please show me. Additional guidance for Virgo for this upcoming week. All right, so the additional guidance card that I have for you, Virgo, for this week is Shanti. I'm the angel of peace. I bring new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Now, I'm not sure if you had this last week. I know that one of the signs pulled this last week. So if it was you, Virgo, that's wonderful because you now have it twice. If it was you last week, Virgo, I cannot remember. But this is beautiful. So you're headed towards a smoother road ahead. And this is also my Leo card in this deck. So there could be some Virgos that a Leo person, we have the lion here in the corner, but there could be a Leo that's very significant for some Virgos. Maybe you're partnered to a Leo. And then we also have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So for some of you, if this is a relationship that's unfolding, definitely getting to know that person on a much deeper level, needing to take your time with doing that. And discussions or conversations are going to be very significant this week. Okay? All right, Virgo, so I do hope that you found this reading helpful, and I do wish you a very happy Valentine's Day and a wonderful week. Take care.